Right, that head sculpt though. Let's go. Geeks, what's poppin'? We got Diamond Toys, Marvel Select, Apocalypse. This is dang near a bath. This dude is huge. But what's great about that is he can scale with your Marvel Legends. Why? Because Apocalypse can change size at will. So it doesn't matter how big or how small. Well, not how small, but you know what I'm saying. Let's check him out. Born in a small Egyptian settlement of Aqaba almost 5,000 years ago, the being originally dubbed En-Saba-Nur was the world's first known mutant. Nur struggled through countless ordeals, all the while formulating an ideology akin to survival of the fittest. Using advanced alien celestial technology as well as his own almighty mutant powers, Nur became the mighty conqueror Apocalypse, influencing history throughout the ages and re-emerging in the modern era to wreak havoc alongside his chosen harbingers, the Horsemen. Alright, so a few items of note with our friend here. So for the claw accessory and the drill, you have to remove his wrist cuff. These come off. See how they have the hole in the bottom for his tubing? The drill and the claw have a hole for it. So you'll take those off and then you'll put them in there. For his fist and the mace, you leave his wrist cuff on. You just stick the mace in like you would a fist. Now as far for his tubing, you don't want to try and pose him with the tubing attached. Anytime you move it, it comes out. It's not very flexible. It's not like it's bendy wire. But if you take it out, do your pose, and then stick it in, it stays. I haven't had any issues with it falling out. Just as long as you just know you need to take it out before you're posing it. Also with mine, I had to put him in hot water for 3.5 minutes because his elbow joints would not move. And they're so tight, I thought they were fused, or there was paint in there because I stuck a knife in there and couldn't even get between. I thought I was gonna have to return him. But poured some water, threw him on, he came out, they're just fine, loosey-goosey, nice. All right, so just off rip, just looking at him, I don't know what's going to stop him from being in my top 10 for 2023. This thing is wonderful. The paint is awesome. That matte finish works very well. And then they got the sheen on his gloves and on the chromed out parts. The head sculpt, it's what Apocalypse should be. That is awesome. And the size, man, it's just there. He looks so good. Now he does have single jointed elbows, but he's got a thigh cut, single jointed knees, and his feet do turn. It helped with posing. I was getting him to stand up. I like to call him a winner already. Now his legs, unlike his arms, are a little bit loose, so when I go to pose them, they tend to split a little bit, but I can work with it and position it. It's not really a big problem. So similar to the Marvel Legends, because of his collar, I don't think we're gonna get a 360. Oh, I lie. You can get a full 360, it just scrubs up a little bit. Great tilt left. Great tilt right. All right, so he's looking straight ahead. Now let's look down. Very slight because his chin hits his collar. And looking up, he gets nothing. Arms get up yay high. Wingspan pretty good, gets parallel with the back. Shoulder armor's gonna keep that hug range honest. He's not squeezing anybody. Except maybe the blob. 360 at the shoulder, pretty smooth. 360 at the bicep, nice and loose. 360 at the elbow, and 360 at the wrist. After some boiling hot water, he gives me not quite 90 degrees at the elbows, but it works. Vertical hinges, they are really tight, or at least mine are. You do get a kiss the ring, that repulsor blast. Oh, hold on. That repulsor blast is a little shallow, but maybe I just wasn't able to get the full range out of it, because this one I pulled out and I had to push the stem against my table to get it to bend. I didn't do that with that one, so it probably goes a little bit further, but it hurt my hand, so I'm not doing it. I'm too old. ab crunch is shallow, so you're gonna get a lot of range out of it. And what I said earlier about his legs being a little bit loose, they're getting looser as the review goes on. They're becoming a bit of a problem. Not much of a willy way back. You can slightly lean with it. Rock with it might be a little bit better. And you can roll with it. Do we get a 360? Yeah, I get 360 up there. What about the waist? Yes, we get a 360 at the waist. How generous of you. Oh, wow. 360 at the thigh cut, but tight. Nothing at the boot. 360 at that ankle ball joint. And then does the foot? Yeah, the foot also spins around too. Kind of tight, but you can get it. He's good on the bend over, especially for a big guy, which translates to a really good kick. Apocalyptic split. Oh yeah, baby. Look at that range. Look at all that Van damage. Make that money. Damage. Single jointed knee gives you almost a perfect 90 degrees. Now, these thigh splits were really tough to get started, but now, super loosey-goosey. You can't call him a prancer, but I think we can call him a dancer. What a surprise, the feet are on Rockus. Rockus. Yeah, check out this chrome. Oh, digging this so much. All right, we knew he was gonna be large, but we didn't know how large. Let's check it. Let's find out. He is just under 9 inches tall. Big selects, gotta hang with big selects. So you see where he falls. If it wasn't for that head plume, he'd be bigger than Beta Ray Bill, but he's not quite as big as the Hulk. And in case you didn't know, those are both Marvel Select. That works, man. It doesn't look odd at all. So in my opinion, he works. He's not too big. He scales with the legends because like I said, Apocalypse can change sizes. If you look at his first appearance, what was it, X Factor number 7? I know technically it was 5 or 6, but he was just in the shadows, but his first real appearance, you see in that issue, he's changing sizes. So I think it's fine. It doesn't look odd at all, especially if you think back to the Marvel Legends BAF, which was what, I think 13 inches tall or something like, or 15 inches tall. So if you can make that work, then you can make this work. So he'll look good on your Marvel Legends shelf. So what are my final thoughts on him? Man, despite his flaws, I love him to death. I think he's freaking awesome. The things I don't like about him are probably unique to mine or just a few. It's the loosey-goosey joints and the super tight joints. Now his legs, like I said, once I got him going, they're a little bit too loose. His legs like to split apart when he's standing up. That thigh swivel is like it's greased. It's a bit annoying, but once you get him up, he doesn't seem to be falling down. He's good. Now those arms, I did have to boil them, but now that I boiled them, they feel good. So minor complaint. I think he's gonna be one of my top 10 figures of 2023 just because of how good he looks. And even though articulation is the usual limited Marvel Select articulation, they did put those thigh cuts in there. They did put rockers on the feet. I mean, it's good enough. Apocalypse is not Spider-Man. He's not gonna be doing splits and bounce off walls. So the articulation works for me. That's just one old guy's opinion. Let me know what you think in the comments. Sound it off, let's talk about it. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications. If you don't wanna subscribe, that's fine. 94% of my return viewers don't subscribe, but at least hit the like button. That's almost as good as subscribing. It recommends the video to other people. The least you can do, just hit that button on your way out the door. All right, till next time, Apocalypse is out of here.